Psychology is always trying to pin down our emotions as a disorder. They want to make claims that our failed relationships, our failed lives, uh, all the things that we can't do, they always blame it on the fact that we have a disorder. They want to claim that it's our brain and our brain chemistry. They want to claim that it's some type of abuse that we went through. They want to make all these claims that that there's all different kinds of problems with our lives. It's always about how they can make a profit off of a bogus treatment and a therapy based on a rash of bogus diagnostics. Just because your life's all fucked up and you're all pissed off and people don't seem right to you and you have relationship dysfunction and the world sucks, that honestly means that the world sucks. That has to do with the external environment. Many times these psychiatrists and psychologists and these lawyers and doctors, they're proclaiming they know something that they have not measured in the form of chemistry within your body. Okay? They can't necessarily measure brain chemistry in all of its practice, all of its events, all of its organization. Basically, it's really complex to scan a human down to the molecular level. No one has figured that out while they're still yet human. However, we can measure entire cells and the contents of them with X-ray, X-ray diffraction, crystallography. People are not very keen on understanding that people have been through a lot of external environmental hell. There's hell to play because the things that we can prove can often be critical. And it's not so much our psyche and our brain chemistry. It's more so about all the bad things we go through and our anticipation of those things. It can also, yes, there is truly brain chemistry, yes, and it matters. Yes, it does. But they're not good at diagnosing it. I don't think that they even have the correct science behind disorders. They like to mix things up and they have a very broad spectrum and they like to tie things together, but this just can't be absolute. Yes, there is brain chemistry and it matters, but how that all works is, in my attempt, or in my opinion, a failed attempt. I've been dealing with psychiatrists for a long time, and it was the most bogus thing I've ever done in my life. For different reasons. My personal opinion is that you should never force a theory or a medication or a therapy on anyone, because if you can't prove that the science is absolute, you're committing fraud. Automatically, I know where there's fraud. I know that these scientists are fraudulent and their data is inaccurate. And psychological abuse is what this fraud really is. These doctors may know some things, but it's critical to have certain amount of scientific evidence. And they like to judge you based on behavior and externals, and then they will also measure your blood and your internals. And they have a few devices for doing that. Well, guess what? Not sure that leads to every detail about the functioning of your cells. And genetics plays a role as well, of course. And then what that does and how everything interacts in your sensitivity level, how sensitive you are or are not, how healthy you are, really plays a role. Now, are there other health problems that seem to cause mental illness that drives a mental illness type problem? Yeah, it's possible. But it could be a lot of things. I believe that toxins, quite often, of all kinds, food toxins, medical toxins, cigarette habits, alcohol habits, drug abuse, that all drives mental illness and drives people to do crazy things and hurt other people. Well, not only that, money, the world of money and business drives people to have mental illness. There's a lot of things in the world that drives potential mental illness or some kind of like syndrome or I don't know. It just seems like the world is all collaborative work, but there should be certain signs that the doctor has more so than just outwardly behavior, especially for psychiatry. It really takes advanced biology, advanced anatomy, physiology, pathophysiology, and medical therapy to understand, and not only that, but advanced psychology, neurology, everything, every neuroscience, all that has to be well known. And then you have to start understanding the clinical procedure for pathophysiology. You have to know what's missing. You're constantly measuring the body. okay, to create a diagnostic scheme. And if that data is inaccurate, the science of the whole condition is wrong. So, I want to basically say that this video is the science of medical, and psychological diagnostics.